Let us discuss the process drawing. Drawing is also one of the sheet metal working process upon which we may do on the sheet metals. So what is meant by drawing? It is a cold working process in which the workpiece is pulled through a die. This die will have one hole, and through this hole the workpiece is pulled so as to reduce its diameter. Drawing is a cold working process. How can we say so it's a process is a cold working process? The temperature at which we are doing the sheet metal work on the sheet at a temperature lesser than the recrystallization temperature, then that process is called as a cold working process. So here we are carrying out this drawing process at a temperature lesser than the recrystallization temperature. That is why we are calling it as a cold working process. So in this drawing process, what is the main aim? We have to produce devices like cups, and we have to produce devices like tubes. Okay, if the drawing process is used to produce the cups, then the type of process is called as cup drawing. And if the drawing process is used to produce the tubes, then this drawing process is called as cube drawing. Let us discuss the mechanism presented in the cup drawing. Cup drawing. In this cup drawing method, what are the devices we need are punch, die setup, and sheet metal. We are drawing the hatching section of the die block. This is called die block. And now we are drawing the hatching section of punch hole. This is the sheet metal. Punch. Okay. You are seeing a schematic diagram for the cup drawing process. What are the devices which may be used in cup drawing process? Die block, punch, and stock or sheet metal. Sheet metal. There are the. See what is the shape of this die hole? This is just like a cup. So before producing this cup element, first we will place the sheet metal, flat sheet metal on this die block and put the punch holder upon it. Then after we will allow the punch to fall down into the die block hole of required size. Because of the force acting upon the sheet metal, this flat sheet will turn into the cup-shaped object. After producing this cup, this punch will be moved up and we will collect the produced cup. By this, we will produce the cups. So, being the cup is produced by the method of drawing, that is why we are calling it as a cup drawing method. Let us discuss the main points presented in the cup drawing process. The cup drawing operation is a process of producing a cup by using a die, punch and a blank. What is meant by blank? Blank is the input sheet or input material which is meant for producing the cups. This is taken from the sheet metal. So, what is the procedural steps involved in producing the cups? The first taken or input material or a blank is placed between the stationary die and punch. As the stationary die rests on the ground and punch is resting on the blank, in between these two there is a hole or a cup shaped cavity presented in the stationary die. Once this punch is allowed to fall on the blank which is passing through that hole, what will happen? A pressure or a force will exert on the blank. Because of this force, what will happen? A cup shaped object will be produced. So, in this mechanism, there existing a friction. So, to reduce the friction, we will apply the lubricant, a thin lubricant film in between these three contact surfaces. By using this cup drawing operation, we can produce thin walled cups. So, and also the drawing operations are used to manufacture or produce the seamless pots, seamless tubes, automobile covers, automobile tops. Let us discuss the tube drawing process. Tube drawing. By seeing this title, we can understand this method is used to produce the tubes by the drawing sheet metal work process. What are the devices which we are need is one vertical die with a hole. We are drawing the hatching section of the vertical die is having small opening of a reduced diameter. Now I am drawing die. This die has a diameter which is equal to the approximately the required diameter of produced tubes. Here it is a one tapered section provided for smooth flow of the blank. This is the drawing die, and this is mandrel, and this is hot rolled tube. You have seen a simple schematic diagram which represents the combination of drawing by mandrel and hard rolled sheet which is used to produce the tubes. See, the produced black will be the produced black means the black which is produced by the blanking operation, that will be the input material or input work sheet metal for us to produce the tubes by using tube drawing. So here is a mandrel and here is a tube drawing. Through this hole, as this mandrel is pressing, the blank is made to pass through the hole or cavity of the mandrel. So produced object will be a seamless tube. By using this method, we can produce the tubes. By using this method, we can produce the seamless tubes. Let us see the main points presented in the operation of the tube drawing. The tube drawing is a process of producing seamless tubes by making the large diameter tubes to pass through the conical dies as shown in figure. The cold drawing is generally carried out by producing the tubes of high dimensional accuracy, smooth surface finish and thinner walls. In this process, a mandrel is used which is placed at the middle of the die and the tube is made to pass through the die, whose tube diameter is to be reduced, that the tube is heated and its temperature is raised to the recrystallization temperature, and this tube is made to pass through the die. The first end of the tube at which end is to be reduced in diameter and is made to pass through the die. This die, the end is clipped with the tongs, and after it will be pulled by using the chain mechanism. One more method presented in the drawing operation, that is D drawing. Now, draw the sketches of die blocks. One more die block. We are drawing object which represents the blank or a sheet metal from which we are producing the cup. So to produce cups we need one punch. These are the stationary dies. So this first figure shows that before operation. Figure B. Now we are drawing the schematic diagram. Which represents deep drawing process which is used to produce the cups of larger depths. Case B indicates after operation. In figure 1, simply a metal sheet or black is placed on the two stationary dies and simply we attach one punch. To produce the cups by using this deep drawing method, the punch is made to press or exert certain force on the blank. In between these two dies there is a big cavity which is equal to the outer diameter of the cup. So as a punch continuously forces, presses and exerting the force in downward direction, a thin walled cup with certain required depth will be produced. By using this deep drawing method, we can produce milk cans and washing machine tubes and other engineering components. Let us discuss the important steps presented in deep drawing. The process of making cup-shaped components from flat sheet metal blanks is known as cup drawing or radial drawing. This method is also called as deep drawing. Why means we are making the cups with higher depths. That is why we are calling it as a deep drawing. Initially, the blank is heated to plastic state and is placed over the dies. What is the need to heat the blank to plastic state? That means the whatever the operations we are carrying it, that must be a permanent deformation. There should be no spring back effect. Understand? So that is why we are heating this metal to the plastic deformation state. And also, once we apply the certain heat, as we are heating the bodies means changes, recrystallization or the integration of disintegration of old grain size and simultaneously formation of new grain structure with reduction in size will takes place. So we have to, before applying this pressure or force on a metal sheets or blanks, we have to heat the bodies to a certain temperature. After heating this, object or a blank has to be placed on the dies. Then the force is applied through the punch. Once we apply the force through the punch on the blank or sheet metal, then what will happen? This metal or a blank is made forcefully to flow through the cavity or a hole presented in the die. So as this punch descends, the cup will be formed, cups will be formed. Deep drawing components used in the milk churns, washing machine tubes, and during operation, elongation and thinning should be avoided, because if the metal or blank is continuously go on elongating and thinning, there may be a result of cracking and rupture of the metals, and further reduction in diameter may cause crack formation. If any cracks took place or takes place on the metal, it will cause the defects. It will cause the defects on produced components. So we have to avoid such type of cracks formation and racks. So it should be during the operation, the elongation and the thinning should be within the permissible limit to avoid the material waste, operation waste and pressure waste. The produced component has to be ready for use. If any cracks is present, it will be found out in quality control. And also there is another method available with the drawing concepts, that is known as redrawing. This redrawing method is a drawing method which is used to reduce the diameter of already drawn cup. So we can, using appropriate required setups, we can reduce the diameters of the drawn material. So whatever the cups it may be, that they must have the diameter at required shape. Tolerances, precision and accuracy. So once the produced would have appropriate and required diameter, accuracy, surface finish and precision, then we can use that cup for any other purpose. If the diameter is slightly higher than the required diameter, then we may go for redrawing method to reduce the diameter by using redrawing method.